watching me start my day. Starting out with, that was 1/32. Yeah, that was 1/32 freestyle. Those come out pretty good. I like that simple. It's just a white sticker with a black dot right in the middle of it. And I think it kind of gives it a little more of a unique look, little different look. Those eyes were, I'm not even sure where I got them at. They were new old stock. But that's the one we are going to start with. And we're going to be using Danville 210 denier. I'll get this one coated up and ready to go. Put a little glue on it. Right there. So let's tie this bad boy up. All right, so like I said, we got a 1/32 freestyle head and device. It's painted disco silver, and it's just got an eye on it. I kept it pretty simple. The disco silver is really cool. The disco silver, I definitely use the top coat on disco silver. I don't put any disco colors in the oven. So I'll always use the UV resin on that. There's a fine line between curing them in the oven and burning them in the oven, and that metal flake that's in that will burn and it'll discolor it. It'll give it a dull color, or it'll give it a blackened color, a brownish looking color. So if you do these in the oven, you got to be a little careful when you're doing disco colors. Just keep that in mind. Pay attention to it. Watch it. Keep an eye on that oven. Oh, a little bit of Sally Hansen's right behind the head. And we are using 210. I had another question about that. What thread I use the most. 210, definitely the most. If I'm doing little bitty, super small 64s, 1/100th, I'll go to 140. But the majority of the time, just about every day, I'm using 210 denier. We're going to put 2 silver feathers on this. It's going to be a simple jig. 1 coat of paint, 2 eyes, and some feathers. And some flash. We're going to flash this one up pretty good. But I'm going to take those feathers. And when you get a pack of feathers, you'll usually see that they are all bending a certain direction. What I like to do is I like to put them beside each other like this, back to back, each of them going a different direction. So you end up with this. On that side, maybe one in the middle. Just depends on what it looks like when I get the last 2 tied into it. Now we're going to be cutting these pretty short. Save all your scraps. Those are good for the 1/100th and the 1/64th. You're going to want those fibers for all those little ones. We're going to pinch it off real even. We're going to lay it right there on the side. We're going to do a couple loose wraps, and then I'm going to adjust it. I'm going to turn it to where it's on the side. And even though I adjusted it and I stacked them the way I wanted, they didn't quite stay that way. I'm keeping them. I'm not. That's as much as I'm going to put into getting my feathers to go a certain way. We're going to pull 2 more off. I got them opposite. We're going to cut them off. And in this video, somewhere, whether you're watching on the phone or TV, there will be links to the vise, the bobbin, the thread, the paints, just about everything. I've been trying to keep all that in there because when somebody asks me, hey, what do you use? I used to have to go and try to find the link, copy it, go back to YouTube, post it back up. So YouTube's now got it where I can find just about everything in the YouTube app to be able to pin it to make it a little bit easier for me and a little bit easier for you. So what I'm trying to do is everything I'm using in each video is making sure that product gets tagged up or something extremely similar to it. And the prices on that stuff that's in those links is pretty comparable to any big box store you're going to go to. I got a little bit of a bare spot there in the middle. I'm going to use 2 more and I'm going to cover that spot up. Instead of using feathers to cover that spot up, you can also put your flash to cover up those open spots. And you can see with the 210, I still got plenty of room. You just got to be a little more mindful of how much you're putting in when you're using 210 on smaller size baits. And we're going to use this flash, and this stuff, I don't know where it came from, but I don't like it because I ended up with all this at the end of it. I cut it, separated it out, put it in a smaller stack, so it does help some. And this is some flash that I've gotten, who knows, probably 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, and started digging in the box, pulled it out, and I liked the way it went with that disco silver. A lot of holographic colors in it. And we're going to take that flash. I'm going to lay it right there on, I'm going to want the flash to end right behind the head. A lot of people will pull out one strand, and I used to do it too, because flash used to cost a fortune. They'll pull out one strand and then loop it a couple times and set it off to the side, reuse some more on the next one. I start at the bottom. I start clipping my way up and just working my way up that flash is what I do. I just pull out some that looks about right, feels about right, and that's what I use. What makes that flash, it's hard to cut straight pieces off of. It coils up all by itself, and it could be the temperature down here. It could be because it's cold. It could be because it's been in a bag for 10 years. Who knows? But when you get that flash that's going all crazy like that, that's usually when I cut it down some and try to keep it even length with the feathers. Because you can see it's kind of just going, it's going everywhere. But I like that. I like that style in my crappie jigs. I like it kind of erratic looking. And that holographic flash picks up a lot of colors going from when you're fishing from a shady spot into a sunny spot or a sunny spot into a shady spot. The sun hits that. It does shallow. I see it when, like, I'm pulling my bait back up and I can see it coming up. I can see all that flash. And you can make your whole bait out of that flash. Not use hackle, not use marabou, bucktail, or anything. You could use all that flash for your tail material. I should have got my UV resin warmed up this morning. First jig of the morning. We'll put our resin on. I've already done the heads. I've done the heads separate with the eyes and put them in yesterday and let them cure. So I don't really have to worry a whole lot about the head being completely covered because I've already done it. Give it a quick cure. Not cure, but let it set up to where it's not going to drip. And boom, bingo. That's the first one for the day. And it was a simple one. Disco silver, 2 sticky eyes, 2 10 denier thread, some silver hackle, and some holographic silver flash. I like that flash. I like the holographic look of it and the different colors you see as you're turning. So it's picking up a reflection from the sticker on my table, the light over here, the light up above me. But that's it. Boom, start my morning. We got jig number 1 down. We only got 99 more to go.